What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And as I promised, we are starting off on the rooftop of the hospital in the middle of the night. And I know I said in that first video that I wasn't going to be doing all the night videos, but man, we just can't seem to not. So much for saying what we're not going to do. Let's get busy doing. So the first things first, we are going to need the bellows in order to make our forge. Also going to need a campfire so I can cook up some of this water. I left all the meat down on the street though. You believe that? That's okay. We're not that hungry. 56 will be alright. Alright, so while we wait on that stuff to craft, let's see here. What else are we going to need? Make a storage chest for up here for sure. So we can do that. Alright, so we have the bellows, so now let's make the forge. Forge was under resources, right? Nope. Forge was in the building. We didn't find it, we typed it in, didn't we? Alright, so we have 50 small stone, 50 lumps of clay, bellows, good deal. Why do I have a scrap? Oh well. Okay, so let's get this fire put down. Get a little bit of coal in the fire. Alright, and boiled water. Bottled water we cannot do. And this is why we do a couple of cans of water, because the boiled water in the bottle requires this dude right here, this little cooking pot. So when you first start out, you definitely want to go with the cans of water. Problem with cans of water is they don't stack, so you'll see here in a second they'll be piled up there. Alright, the forge is done. Let's go on and plop the forge down right here. Set the campfire. Alright, so this is Forge 101. For anybody that's new to the game and trying to learn, forges are one of the more confusing things to kind of learn in the beginning. Now, the forge requires several different things. Number one, it requires fuel, just like the campfire does. Alright, so you can put wood or you can put coal. Since I got some coal early on, I'm just going to go ahead and use it for that. Actually, you know what? I probably need to save this coal for gunpowder. So let's put wood in here for right now. Okay, so that's the first thing. So now you have your fuel. Alright. Now, these tools at the top, the anvil, calipers, and the tool and die set. The anvil is kind of like the cooking pot in a campfire. You have to have the anvil to make the majority of the stuff in the forge. But you don't have to have the anvil to make the anvil. So you don't have to run around searching and looking really hard trying to find an anvil. Now, if you do like I did and you come close to this town and you have a little bit of time, you're still trying to get your animal hide together, then what you can actually do is go to the tool shop right here outside of town, which we'll hit up here soon, and in that tool shop you will more than likely find, inside one of those crates, you'll likely find an anvil. And that's also where we get our calipers, which calipers we need to make steel arrowheads, bullet casings, a whole bunch of stuff. So you'll see me for a while until I get these. I'll be putting my brass in my stash boxes in each little area and leaving it, because it's just not worth the inventory space. And the tool and die set basically is used for rockets. best I can tell. I don't think there's anything else that jumps out right out of the gate at me. So don't get too excited if you find these, because rockets are kind of bleh, and they're very expensive to make. Alright, so there's that. Now, for example, the first thing we're going to want to make is an anvil. Alright, so in order to make an anvil, you have to have 200 iron and 20 clay. So I look in my inventory here. Oh, I've only got 122. It says I have 0. Well, here's the reason why. And this is what trips most people up with a forge, especially if you're not used to games like this. Right here, this is your smelting. See these numbers beside each iron, brass, lead, glass, stone, and clay? Those numbers represent what you have put in the system. So, if it says it needs 200 clay, it needs 200 clay out of here. So in order to get the clay in the system, what we're going to do, we're going to take half our stack of iron there, and we're going to turn this puppy on. And we're also going to take what little bit of clay we have left and throw it in there. Now what you'll notice is as this ticks down, I had 60 some clay, now we got 15. So it's like a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 10 depending on what it is. I think mostly it's 1 to 5. I'd have to look it up to know for sure. So basically you get that dude started cooking, and there you go. Now one thing's for sure, I know a lot of people probably gonna have this very same problem, because I did. In the beginning of the game you struggle for hydration and food, especially if you get spawned out in the middle of nowhere and you're not familiar with the map like I am. I found Dyersville really fast, and the first, I think, week of my single player world, and even in my multiplayer world, I never saw Dyersville until somebody else found it and took me to it. And then once we kind of poked around there, I literally went right by the top edge of Dyersville. If you look on the map here, if you come on this main strip of town and you come out, there's a little farm area out here. This is where the cornfields and stuff are. There's water, bridges, all that stuff. Right over here is the tool shop. And that's pretty much why I like to get to this area first, because I like to come in here and I like to raid this whole area, hospital, the tool shed and everything, and then I like to get out and stay away, because the spawns, everything respawns every 30 days, game days. So you want to stay out of that area. I think if you even pass by, you will reset it. So you want to make sure that you have a good distance between you and your favorite town. Now, where I like to stay is out, like I say, in between a few places. There's the sheriff's office and another tool shop, a whole bunch of other stuff up in the northwest corner that we will go check out. But until we get some of this other stuff going, we can't really afford to go up there. Man, this takes forever. We'll be back in just a second. Alright, now we got our anvil. So next thing we want to do, and I don't highly recommend doing this personally, if you can get along with the boiled water, then I don't really think this is a necessity. But if you feel like you need it, you want to get your bottles of water and your goldenrod, which personally that's the way I am, you can go on and make yourself a cooking pot if you just hop right over here. Cooking pot's right there. 5 clay, 25 iron. Easy peasy. So let's go on and make one of those. And then we'll click over to making some goldenrod tea. And then after that, I think, actually, matter of fact, right now, I think I'm going to go on and cut off. And we will catch you back here in a second when it's daylight. Because I want to do more looting, do a daytime looting session here. And actually I think it's going to be a little bit before I finish these videos, so as soon as daylight hits I will probably close this out temporarily. Alright, and you just put your cooking pot in here real quick before we go. And actually I need to complete this episode, so no I won't. I will be back here in just a minute. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so Let's get us some bottled water going here. Why do I do that? Make all. Alright, and once we get those bottles of water in. Do I really hear a hornet? I hear him, but I don't see him. He's flying around here somewhere, though, for sure. Let's turn this bad boy off. That's another thing, too. With your meat, you can make the cooking grill here. Those are... You'll start finding them once you get your first one. But, it takes a little longer. And I prefer running the grilled meat over the boiled meat or charred meat or whatever they call it. Whatever they call it. Alright, so we got those. Let's make a couple goldenrods. Like I said, I really like this goldenrod tea. I think it's the bee's knees, man. It's the bee's knees. Alright, so these first 3 episodes, hopefully they're not too horrible. I will try my best to make them as good as possible in editing. But I don't know how the background's going to sound. Maybe a lot of echo is what I'm afraid of. But we'll just see. Alright, so we got 250 Club. Grab this stuff out of here. Oh, we ran out of fuel. No wonder it stopped running. Dirt. And see, that's another thing with this. The way you have to turn the fire on and off. If you forget to turn it off, you lose a lot of fuel. You know, so it's one of those things that I don't know, man. It seemed to me there'd be a better way. Like when it runs out of stuff in the queue, turn it off. I don't know why. I guess because, but theoretically, you're not going to be able to walk up and turn off a campfire. I mean, pour water on it, but it's not going to turn the campfire off. I mean, instantly off, you know. So, I don't know about that one. But it's all good. It'll be okay either way. Alright, we're back in town. Going down, I'm in the basement of that first house that we pretty much finished. I think I'm going to finish up the basement here. Should be a gun safe back here, and then the other... I'm trying to think. Should be an upstairs. I don't think there was anything in this one. One of these houses has a gun safe upstairs, I'm pretty sure. Humantoids. There's a gun safe in there. I'm not even going to bother breaking through that wall because generally there's nothing else in there worth going after. So why bother? Oh, actually, well, oh, wrench! Nice. I'm going to be needing that. For sure. And you know, I was standing right beside that. I wonder if those 2 pipes were in there when I was trying to find those pipes before. I bet they were. I bet they were sitting there the whole time. Oh wow. Whole bunch of junk. I'll keep that for now. Scrap that. Drop those. Forgot to check the mailbox. See if there's any mail. Any mail? No mail. Just junk. What about here? Any mail? No mail. Why did I click on that when it clearly said empty? So ultimately what we want are schematics. for the different types of guns. We definitely want to try to get some antibiotics, which I'm not too worried about because there should be plenty of those in the hospital. We also need... what do we need? Mini bike schematics, but you know that can come quick and it can be an aggravating nightmare. I found them within the first week or so. I think on one world, and then another one. We're not gonna take it. Well, I'll drop it. And then on another one. Oh man, it was a good while, a good long while. So that one's kind of one where the kind of flip flops, but same that one and the Magnum schematics. I seem to have trouble finding the Magnum schematics. Man, Iron Door, I'm not even wasting time with that. I mean, we got to get some clay. There's no question about it. We've got to get a pick made. Gotta get a pick made. Alrighty. So, hopefully everybody's enjoying these episodes. Running up on the end of this one here. Or too awful much longer. So, do a bit more. Ooh, coffee. Coffee's nice because it gives you a real good speed boost, stamina boost. Oh yes! Finally, we have it. We can don about top. Scrap. We can make those, man. No sense in keeping anything that you can make. I don't guess. Oh, cowboy hat. I may as well just drop it because I can make those too. Paper's important. Lead is not. We'll hang on to all that stuff for now. See how much nicer it is. They're supposed to fix that stupid circular blur too. So many things they fixed on that last patch, or said they fixed. Well, I don't know that they said they fixed it. They made so many changes on that last patch that, you know, you just visually some stuff was better. I mean, the game definitely looks more crisp. They've definitely come a long way from when I started playing it, but back in July I think when it came out. So it's definitely looking a lot better, but there's a lot of things that still need to be fixed. And things, and in my opinion, they don't need to touch at all. Just kind of leave alone and fix some of the other more important things. But you know, it's all into who's calling the shots and making those decisions. You know. Main thing I'm enjoying about this is just getting back in the swing of, you know, kind of. That was kind of retarded sounding, but and excuse me for saying retarded, but it's just a habit. My video editing has always been something I enjoyed doing. Even before YouTube, I did a lot of video editing with VHS and converting, you know, old VHS tapes and into DVDs and things like that. I made a few party videos and stuff with clips, you know, just messing around. And usually with remedial programs and that, you know, and always turned out pretty decent. You know, I actually spent the money for a decent rig this time around. I was gonna start posting these videos about a month ago, but my laptop took shit on me, so I had to get the money together. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Mini bike, mini bike. It's too early to be praying for that. So I bought a desktop because my hard drive, one of the 2 hard drives in my laptop took a shit on me, and thought about replacing them, but man, by the time I do go through all that, I've really been wanting to get a desktop that I can start using for a little bit more stuff than just video editing and internet perusing, which, like I said, I think in a video the other day, I very, very rarely use my internet or my computer for cruising on the internet, because it seems like I always get a virus or something, man. I just, you know, and I'm not talking about going to porn sites either, so don't be thinking that, but it just, I don't know, never works out for me. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I think we're getting close to the time limit on this video here. I think we'll finish this house up and call it an episode, whether it be short or long, and then that'll give me a chance to put together the few days of, or I guess it would be 3 episodes is what it should wind up being. That way I can kind of see how the video looks, how the audio works, and I know I probably should have just done 1 video, but man, who cares? You know, I'm just trying to get in this groove of doing this, and talking and staying on track and having a focused, I guess a focused, why did I do that? Having a focused message with each video, you know, that's going to be the most important thing for me to get under control. The rest of it will all come in due time. Like I say, I'm pretty decent with the video editing and stuff, so I should be able to get this to look good, sound good, and all that. That was over there. So we got one on either side of us. There's gotta be a third one somewhere, right? Day 3. Yeah. That should have been the third one there. Alright, let's call it, man. I think it's gonna be good. I'm just gonna go get some clay. Probably just run up here and get some clay and work on getting some clay in the forge. And I'm not gonna do any looting off camera. I don't really want to do that because I actually enjoy watching the looting and the people I watch. So some of you guys may be the same way, so I don't want you to miss out on anything. And do give me some feedback, you know, like say on anything that you think you want to see, anything you might want me to do a tutorial on, anything you may want me to make clear. You know, I can get a little bit mumble mouthy when I'm trying to do this all live. So let's see. Yeah, I think that'll pretty much be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.